Like, slavery is illegal in the United States, but there are still forms of it in other countries. So North Korea, for example, if you criticize the government, if you break any government rules in North Korea, they can put you and your entire family in a labor camp. So hypothetically, like, imagine that you are born in North Korea and your uncle does something that angers the government, and then you and your siblings, your parents, like your cousins, like all of you are in a labor camp where you work long hours, and they only give you rice, and they just give you enough to keep you alive, and it's just these awful conditions. Okay, that's definitely like a form of slavery. You can't leave if you want to. There are people who they would otherwise try to escape North Korea, but they choose not to try to escape because their siblings and their parents, they would get punished if the person were to escape. So there's some people that try not to even like attempt it because of the potential consequences that their family would have to suffer. Okay, you also have like human trafficking that happens today. Like, you can have someone that travels to another country and they're basically like abducted or they're taken, and then they're later like sold. Okay, so you can still have human trafficking, child trafficking. Those are forms of slavery today. Someone in another class, they had asked about like if someone doesn't get paid very much at their job, if that's a form of slavery. And the main difference there is that like if the person can choose to try to go get another job, then you can argue like they're not really in slavery. They might be getting exploited, maybe they're getting taken advantage of, but if they have the option to go and try to do something else, it's different. It's not the same. Okay, and then the next question, how did slavery impact Africa? How did slavery impact Africa? So here you had basically less Africans in the continent as a result of slavery. And it made it easier for Europeans later in the 1800s. They went and colonized Africa, and they were able to take a lot of resources. They were able to take a lot of land. Okay, that was a direct result, or that's a result of the Atlantic slave trade. You had Africans that were enslaving. Like, one tribe would enslave another tribe, and then they would basically sell them for money and for weapons. And then, yeah, it weakened the entire continent to the point where there weren't a lot of people to fight against the Europeans later in the 1800s in the age of colonialism.